Hey Uber Sports, Jacob over here. So in this video I'm going to give you my 2018 NFC and AFC Championship game predictions. The first game, the NFC Championship game, I'll get right into that. So it'll be the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And these are two teams who I did not expect to be here at this point in time, even though they are the number 1 and number 2 seeds. I thought that the Vikings were going to lose to the Saints, even though the Vikings were at home. For 59 minutes and 50 seconds, it looked like they were going to lose to the Saints, but of course the Minneapolis Miracle, I think that's what they're calling it now, happened. Case Keenum threw to the sideline to Stephon Diggs. Marcus Williams tried to go hit stick on him, and instead he missed the tackle, and Diggs spun free and scored the winning touchdown, and now the Vikings are in the NFC Championship game because of it. The Eagles, on the other hand, the Eagles had a home matchup against the Atlanta Falcons last game, and I thought the Falcons were going to beat them because Nick Foles led team without Carson Wentz, who was looking like he was heading towards the NFL MVP award before he got injured. It looked like I thought they were going to lose. I did, but the Eagles kept themselves in the game the whole time, and they ended up pulling it out in the end in a hard-fought game. So the Eagles and the Vikings are in the NFC Championship. That's how both of those teams got there. And this is going to be another interesting game to watch because really both of these teams, I mean, their quarterbacks, you always think the elite quarterback is the one that takes you to the promised land. And that's been the philosophy in the NFL over the past decade or so. But this year we have the likes of Case Keenum, Nick Foles, and Blake Bortles all leading their teams to conference championship games. I think this game is going to come down to, I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I do. The Eagles and the Vikings both have great defenses, and of course the quarterback situation isn't the best for both teams, although I think Case Keenum definitely has an edge over Nick Foles. Case Keenum has put together a really nice season, and I'm really happy for him. He's proven himself as an NFL starting worthy quarterback and a guy who can put up consistently good numbers, so that's good for him, but I think that this game, like I said, is going to come down to the defenses, and really, I mean, whichever quarterback makes more plays, I think is going to end up winning the game, and in my opinion, I think Case Keenum's going to make more plays, and even though this game is in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is a very tough place to win, the Vikings have that defense. They're going to be able to shut down the Eagles' offense. Nick Foles is going to be held to under 200 yards passing, I think. And I think the Vikings are going to take this one. And my final score prediction for the game, I would say that the Vikings win 24-14. That's my expectation. I don't even think it'll be that close until the end. I think that it'll be 24-7, and then the Eagles will probably score a garbage time touchdown. I just think Minnesota's overall the better team, and the one advantage that the Eagles would have had coming into this would be the quarterback with Carson Wentz over Case Keenum, but without Carson Wentz, I don't see the Eagles winning this game. So, moving on to the AFC Championship, we've got the New England Patriots for the 7th year in a row in the AFC Championship game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, if you would have told me they were going to be in the AFC Championship game this year, I would have laughed in your face. But they're there, and you have to give credit to them. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL, if not the best defense in the NFL. In fact, if they end up winning the Super Bowl this year, that defense could go down as one of the better defenses of all time. So they've got there on the strength of their defense. They have a great running game with Leonard Fournette, and Blake Bortles has proven himself. Has proven that he's been able to keep his team in the game, make the plays he needs to make. He only threw for a little over 200 yards in the previous game against the Steelers, which was a thrilling game. So the Jaguars scored 45 points and beat the Steelers 45-42. That was one of the more unexpected outcomes of the divisional round. But it's going to be a great matchup between these two teams. Tom Brady against that great defense. And although Tom Brady, remember, he had some issue with his throwing hand, I believe, and he came to a post-game press conference leading up to the AFC Championship game with a glove on his hand, and there's a little bit of uncertainty there. I do think he's going to play. I mean, it's the AFC Championship game. You can't hold him out, but is he going to be limited? I think he is, and depending on the severity of the injury, I mean, none of us really know anything about it, so we'll have to see what happens on that front. But if Tom Brady can't play like Tom Brady, this game, in my opinion, is heading towards the Jaguars' direction. As much as it's absurd to say that the Jacksonville might actually win this game, I think they have a more than reasonable shot at winning it, especially with that injury to Brady. And remember, I mean, the reason that the New England Patriots had such a hard time with the Giants in the 18-1 season in that Super Bowl was because the Giants had a good pass rush. They were able to get to Brady, they were able to contain Brady, and they scored enough points to win in the end. I see a similar formula developing here. The Jaguars have an excellent pass rush. They have a great secondary. If they can contain Brady and score enough points on offense, which I think they will, even though New England's defense is very good, I think Jacksonville might actually win this. And, you know, the more I think about it, I think I'm going to go with Jacksonville in this game. I think Jacksonville is going to do just enough on offense to pull it out, and I think that the defense is going to hold the Patriots under 20 points. I'm going to say the Patriots score 17. My final score prediction will be, I say the Jaguars win 23-17. And 23 points against the Patriots defense with Blake Bortles as your quarterback. I mean, we saw him put up 45 against the Steelers, who don't have as good of a defense, but, I mean, there's always the possibility that the Jacksonville defense creates some points as well. But anyways, those are my two AFC and NFC championship game picks. I'm going with the Vikings over the Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Patriots. So, Vikings-Jags Super Bowl matchup. If you can believe that, I mean, I can't really. That's probably the last Super Bowl matchup I would have expected coming into the season. But, you know, it's good to have stuff like this in the NFL. I mean, we see the same Super Bowl matchups almost every year. We see a Brady or Manning or Roethlisberger-led team in the AFC every year. And then we see a lot of different NFC teams, I would give it that. But, really, it's just there's no parity in the NFL, and I like that now there's some things to get excited about. There's underdogs to root for, and I like that. And I will be rooting very much against the Vikings in the NFC Championship game and very much for the Jaguars in the AFC Championship game. But I think it's going to be the Vikings and the Jags in the Super Bowl this year. And the Vikings are going to have that home field advantage because it's going to be in Minnesota, and I don't think that's ever happened in NFL history where the home team plays, or a team actually plays in its home stadium in the Super Bowl. That'll be pretty crazy. But anyways, that's all I have to say in this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my picks. And be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here, and follow me on Twitter at Oversports41512. And I'll see you guys next time.